All praise Yah, the strong one, the creator. Yah knowledge, wisdom, understanding is unsearchable. Yah is our savior and our only savior. Now this video is about the Sabbath day, and with these scriptures that I'm gonna go through and this encyclopedia that I have, it's gonna show that it was impossible for the ancient Hebrew Israelites to hold Sabbath day congregations and gathering on the seventh day Sabbath day. Okay, only time the Hebrew Israelites ever gathered, which was for our feast days like the Passover, the blowing of the trumpets, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Booths, okay? And we were only designated to worship Yah in one specific place, just like Yah stated in Deuteronomy chapter 12, okay? And I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter 12. And it says, "These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land which Yah, your creator of thy fathers, given thee to possess it. All the days that ye live upon the earth, ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations which ye shall possess serve their idols, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree, and ye shall overthrow their altars," which is in plural, "break their pillars, burn their groves with fire, and ye shall hew down the graven images of their idols, and destroy the name of them out of that place. And ye shall not do so unto Yah your creator, but unto the place which Yah your creator shall choose out of all the tribes to put his name there, even until his habitation shall ye seek, and there thou shalt come." Okay, so when you read Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 5, Yah says, worship me in the one place that I have chosen to put my name there. Okay, and then when you read the whole 12th chapter, it tells you that it's one specific place for sacrifices, for tithes. Okay, because one, you carry this tradition with all these multiple places, like how these synagogues are, how these churches are, how these mosques are, these Buddhist temples, these Hindu temples. You following the customs of the Canaanites who invented this. That's why Yah said that the Canaanites will melt away. Okay, Exodus chapter 15. Okay, because they are, the trendsetters of this trend. So now, with the birth of Judaism, which popped up in the third kingdom of man, the descendants of Esau, they take on this custom, okay? And then when they make these Amalekite illuminated Edomites, when they make up these religions, they predicated on this Canaanite tradition of multiple places of worship, because they anti-Yah, they the opposite of what Yah is, and that's a major abomination to the Creator, okay? Because Yah said, whoever's in harmony with this law, and the law is an everlasting covenant. When you go to Exodus chapter 19 verse 9, "And under Yah law, which is forever," Yah said, "Hear these words that I speak to you forever." Okay, and under Yah law is to worship Yah one place and one place only, and to worship Yah, just like 2 Kings chapter 17 verse 35, all the way down to the end of the chapter. Okay, Yah said we only shall worship him and sacrifice to him. Okay, so Yah changes not, and anything that's everlasting, there's never a change. That goes hand in hand with Yah changes not. Everlasting always remains the same. So it was impossible for us to worship Yah, because in multiple places, because that means you're going to violate Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 5, and all the way through the 12th chapter explains to how we're supposed to worship the king, and not like the ways of the heathen. Okay, because when you go through the book of remembrance, it never said that failure to gather on the seventh day Sabbath day is a violating of the seventh day Sabbath day. Okay, but it do tells us if we kindle a fire, Exodus chapter 35, or we lift a burden in Jeremiah chapter 21. Okay, and plus, when you go to Nehemiah chapter 13, it tells us that the gates of Jerusalem close. Okay, it tells us that the gates of Jerusalem close before the sun go down. So we understand that no one was definitely going to the house of Yah for the seventh day Sabbath day. And if you was holding a Sabbath day gathering amongst where you live, then you definitely polluting the Sabbath day. Okay, because it's not the place that Yah has chosen. The only time we're supposed to worship Yah in the congregation is for our high Sabbath days, our feast days, the Passover, the blowing of the trumpets, the Feast of Booths, the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Harvest, okay, which is international worship. The stranger will be amongst us, where we are rejoicing, okay, we are singing, we are celebrating, we're praising Yah in that form of manner, but not learning sinners, okay, just like the birth of the synagogue, okay, because Yah teaches this law. And Psalm chapter 25 tells us that Yah gives understanding to the humble. Psalms 86, okay? And Yah instruct us in Deuteronomy chapter 6. He tell us to lead our children to Yah, okay? Proverbs chapter 22 verse 6. We supposed to lead our children to Yah, not these, this moray thing, or rabbi, okay? Rabbi means teacher, so that means Yah not the teacher no more. They taking the credit for what Yah's going to reveal to the humble, okay? And plus, you're supposed to raise your children up. We can't teach our children, but we can raise them and point them in a direction. Then Yah will give them the understanding if he see that they are humble, okay? If they're not humble, then Yah not going to reveal himself. So this is what these high places and these false houses of worship, and that's what's causing us to pollute the Sabbath day, because this reinvented Canaanite religion, okay, has been incorporated into the wickedness of the heathen, of these Amalekite Illuminati bankers and stuff like that. But I have something from an academic encyclopedia from 1984, and this talks about the birth of the synagogue. And it says the synagogue, from the Greek word for assembly, a building where the Jews gather for worship and religious instruction, is the focus of the Jewish life in every community. Ancient temples, including the temple in Jerusalem, were regarded as dwelling places of deity. In them, sacrificial rites were performed by a special caste of priests. The synagogue, in contrast, is a gathering place for the people. Its service consists of prayer, song, and instruction. The custom of regular preaching originated in the synagogue. Any member of the congregation with the request scriptural knowledge may lead the prayers and preach. The Christian churches and the mosques of Islam were modeled on the synagogue. Despite much theorizing, when and how the synagogue emerged is not known. Synagogue buildings exist in Egypt and Palestine in the last 3 centuries BCE. Long before the destruction of the temple, AD 70, the synagogue of Palestine and Diaspora were the function centers of Judaism and were used by Pharisees and successors, the rabbis, to create and unify and inform Jewish communities. Okay, so it's telling us that they don't even, Psalm 74, which is, they tamper with, they put synagogue in there, but when you read the law or through the mouth of a prophet, there's no such thing as a synagogue, okay, or a gathering place, okay, because when you go to 1 Kings chapter 12, when Jeroboam wanted to stop, the 10 tribes from going down to Jerusalem to worship there, he built places, and put idols there. If it was already places there, he didn't have to build it from scratch. The one he built in Bethel and in Dan, okay, to stop people from going to Jerusalem to sacrifice, to bring, praise, because the house of Yah only supposed to be for a house of prayer, to bring your tithes, and to celebrate, the high Sabbath days, okay? That's what the house of Yah is for. It's a house of prayer, to bring your sacrifices and to celebrate our feast days, okay? And, the priest to go into the temple, and then the inner chambers for the high priest for the Day of Atonement. But it's not a learning center, because we supposed to, be in the word of Yah. And Yah's going to teach us this law, just like in Jeremiah chapter 31, where Yah said he's going to put the law into our heart. Okay, so when get into this book of remembrance, from Genesis to Malachi, it never tells us failure to gather is a violation of the Sabbath day. Okay, because every time we read it, just like in Exodus chapter 31, verse 14, all the way to the end, it's telling us to rest. It's a day of solemn rest, a complete rest. And if you violate that day by going out, okay, or, kindling a fire, Exodus chapter 35, and, other stuff that I went through would consist of violating the Sabbath day. And so if you holding, gatherings just like the descendants of Esau has reinvented, from the Canaanite religion, this is not the place Yah has not chose, okay? He hasn't chosen this place. So that means you violating his covenant, okay? So that's why Yah said in Yeshaya chapter 24 verse 5, okay, about how the world is under the curse because we have changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant. Anything everlasting means it's forever and ever. There's no ending, okay? And under Yah law, we worship Yah by himself, just like he spoke out of his mouth to us, okay? And the one place that he has chosen. Just like in Deuteronomy chapter 16, he's telling us about the Passover and the place that he has chosen for us to do. Okay? Deuteronomy 14, the tithes, the one place that Yah has chosen. Leviticus chapter 17, sacrifices. Okay? And the place that Yah has chosen us to do. And then some people say, well, the priest was amongst all the tribes, but someone told me that, okay? And I want to make this thing clear too. I'm not a non-Messianic Hebrew Israelite. I'm a Yah righteousness because I had to understand that non-Messianic Hebrew Israelite brothers, okay, they follow the customs of Judaism by holding these Sabbath day gatherings, okay, and polluting the Sabbath day, okay? Because they mixing Judaism into the word of Yah. They deal with the Star of David, which is a graven image. So I'm just a Yah righteousness, okay? And I'm not going to go by no stuff that's not in this book of remembrance, okay? But yeah, it's like it's foreign when and I spoke with a brother who claimed to be a non-Messianic Hebrew Israelite, and he said, well, it's priests amongst all the tribes, and I'm like, well, they only amongst the tribe of Benjamin. You have four tribes that's four priestly, the seed of Aaron. They are four amongst the tribe of Benjamin, and then you have the other nine that's amongst the tribe of Yahudah. So the priest wasn't even amongst all the 12 tribes. Okay? So, people just have lack of knowledge because on the Sabbath day is a protocol, okay? When you go to 2nd Chronicles chapter 2 verse 4, it's the showbread, okay? And you do two sacrifices, besides the morning and evening sacrifice. So it's protocol, okay, for the Sabbath day. And once again, if you have another place to do this besides the place Yah has chosen, then you are violating the covenant. Leviticus chapter 17. Okay? Also Deuteronomy chapter 12. So yeah, it's just something to, look for, to incorporate into your life so you don't be this rebel in the wilderness. Okay? Just like Ezekiel chapter 20. And what's happened back then is happening right now. Because when you go to Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 12, all the way to verse 22, it's saying, you greatly polluted my Sabbath days with your idols. Okay, so, this thing is serious. And a lot of people don't have a clue or understand this book because Yah won't give you the full understanding. Because if you violate the Sabbath day, it's still like you are serving an idol, okay? Because there's a lot of brothers who left the idol, but they violating the Sabbath day, but they still don't really have an understanding of this book. Plus, they still eating the foul animals, okay? Dealing with the chicken, omni carnivore, just like the pig, stuff like that, and that blocks understanding of this book of remembrance. So what we need to do is just, go over these verses and understand when you leave out of your dwelling, that's violating the Sabbath day. Plus, you're going to a place that Yah has not chosen. Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 5. Okay, even when you go to Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 10 and 11. Okay, every 7 years for the Feast of Booths, the priests read the law to the congregation. Okay, because that's in the land, in the place that Yah has chosen. In Nehemiah chapter 8, it's talking about the blowing of the trumpets. Okay, the 7th month, the first day. Nehemiah chapter, and that's the congregation in the house of Yah. When you go to Ezekiel chapter 46, that's not talking about the 7th day, Sabbath day. Because when you look at the animals that was, slaughtered there, just like for the blowing of the trumpets, you will get one bull and you will get one ram and 7 lambs, okay? And it's saying that, but it says 6 lambs in Ezekiel chapter 46, but pretty much that's talking about a feast day, okay, at the east gate. So when they try to say that that's the seventh day Sabbath day, I'll say this is not the east gate. And plus, look at the sacrifices, which is around the same, as the blowing of the trumpets and the Passover, which is in Numbers chapter 28 and Numbers chapter 29. So when you tee that up together, that's not talking about the seventh day Sabbath day. So this is for Yah, righteousness, Jerusalem, and the glorious city of Cole. Yah bless.